Okay, so here is a wall in the test garden, and I'm going to kind of go through and show you. This side is primarily the herbs and fruiting plants, and I've got a couple of the leafy greens in here, but for the most part, it's pretty much things that are going to like the warmth and the sun a lot. So you'll see here I've got two basil plants, and kind of right next to each other. I tend to put them together next to each other on the wall. And you know, some of the things I want to do is I want to pinch this back because it looks like it's starting to flower, and I'm just going to pinch it back right there to the next growth. And I always want to do that because as I do that, it spreads out. You don't want it flowering. Here's a lavender I've got in the wall. It looks fine. It looks like it's going to start blooming up there. I like to put those up on top because it dries out faster, and lavender likes to get dry. Here's my peppers. They're ready to be harvested, and I think I'll do that next month for sure. We'll be covering that. Here's a tomato that I've been continually harvesting. You can see there's obviously I've got fruit still coming in, and there's some new growth here, but chances are, given that it's beginning of September, it probably, because of the fact that it's going to be cooler at night, and we're still going to get some hot spells, but I don't think that it's going to produce any fruit for us. We've got chives. These are so low maintenance and easy. I just cut these back and eat them, and they just keep growing. Swiss chards in here. It looks fine. I check on Swiss chard. I look for powdery mildew. That tends to be, or leaf miner. That seems to be the things that happen the most often, but these are actually looking really healthy right now. No problems there. There's a little thing else got another basil in here. I'm going to take that off. Looking like parsley. Parsley's looking fine. A little bit of yellowing on the leaves, but that tends to be on the old growth, and that can be expected if you're not harvesting it continually. Here's my Thai basil. Thai basil, this needs to be cut back. I need to trim this. I kind of let it flower, just so I like the flowers on it, but I should be cutting that back so it gets fuller growth and such. That's something I should be doing. Here's a cilantro. This is a newly planted cilantro. I find in the wall, the cilantro will bolt the fastest, and it does need to be protected from the sun. For that reason, it likes water, not moist all the time, but it does like to be watered often. And we tend to put multiple seedlings in there, so you can see. But this usually is a quick herb. Just keep that in mind. Here's kale. Kale in the wall takes longer to grow in. Definitely tends to be very ornamental, and it's something that I will take, because these leaves are so big, I'll take 1 or 2 leaves maybe a week. I don't harvest it a lot because I want it to continually be growing, but it does stay in the wall a lot. So if you like kale and you eat a lot of it, you want to have multiple pots of kale. I've also got a lot of arugula in this wall. I've got one here, I've got one there. Something that we're doing is we are doing multiple seedlings in the arugula, which you'll start getting in future shipments, because we're finding that the arugula does fine with that, and you get more production out of that. Here's another Thai basil, needs to be cut back. And then here is a romaine, a bronze romaine. Something to notice here, see how it's a little metallic right there? That is called thrip. We wrote about that in the September content, but I'm gonna take that off because I do not want that to spread. But this guy is just now at the point where it's ready to start being harvested. I planted that a few weeks ago. I think it's been in the wall for about 3 weeks now, so I can start taking a few leaves at a time.